Championship weekend here at the COD Rec League. We're starting off with the Minnesota Floppr versus the Atlanta Dazed in the Silver Premade North Division, fighting for the championship. It's Top Life Goon. It's Search Turkey. Search Turkey, are you ready for the championship match?
I'm getting so ready for it. I'm hyped. We've got a beautiful map set. We've got a best of 7. We've got 2 streams going tonight. We're just jumping right into it right here. Atlanta Dazed, Minnesota Floppr. So 1 seed versus a 3 seed. So we are expecting a very tight matchup here. Atlanta starting with some early time on this P1. Sake is one of those maps. We've seen it quite a bit. This is, in my opinion, the best map in the map pool. But if you're not careful, you can get absolutely dumpstered on a map like this.
And dumpster, we were seeing Atlanta Dazed starting off with that early P1 time. Now they're already trying to get ready for this P2. Big battle between player 6 and player 1, Profits and Jakey. They see Profits wins that battle, so player 2, P2 should be in control of the Atlanta Dazed. Big battle in the back by Quinny to take down player 4, but there's 2 players in the front threatening this hill. They got to watch out for the players coming from the back, and they do not watch that player. Player 3 goes in for a solo chow. He finds one. Can he find the second? No, he cannot. Atlanta Dazed hold off this first wave of Minnesota Floppr. Minnesota Floppr now are trying to come in from this front side. Then starting to put a little bit of pressure on the players who are trying to push out, trying to force these fast spawns. But then he finds him a big 2. His teammates, can he find 3? He does find a 3rd. His teammates finds the nade, and there is a Minnesota Floppr break.
And they definitely needed that one. The lead was getting a little dicey there, but looking like they're going to try and collect this last 20 seconds. Balloons gets 1. His 3 teammates going to fall around him, so going to be a little bit of a 1v1 for that scrap time on that P2, but over on these rotations, Minnesota is here for it. They all rotated early, they rotated quick. They are going to cut their losses as losing that scrap time, but they're looking to bank early and bank so much time onto this P3. Going to start in their hands. These Atlanta players trying to push through this middle side. Balloons was able to find one. His teammates will fall around him, but he's slowly going to break through that middle side as Atlanta. They do get some favorable spawns towards that bottom left side of the map.
Yeah, man, nobody from Minnesota Floppr blocked those spawns when they got to this hill. The 2 players was holding the hill, but no player went onto that back to cover those back spawns, but it did not matter. They came in the hill, they broke in 3 deep, took down those 2 Atlanta players. They got 2 Atlanta players. They got 2 more coming out. They take care of player 8. One last player is player 7. He does find one. That GG miss. Can he find another? No, he finally gets traded out in a Minnesota Floppr. They're finding their way back in this game. Started off a little slow, but you see they rotated to this P3 early, and they held it down, made it a big money hill for them to get themselves back in the game. Now we're on our way to P4. You can see the sprint through P1 is the route that Minnesota's going to take. You know, Atlanta Dazed is already here. Let's see how they defend it.
That was a big battle over there towards that entrance. Some trades rolling in and out of the feed. Hotbox God is there for it. So Minnesota, despite being a little bit late on these rotations, they do start with this P4. They're starting to grow their lead. These Atlanta players trying to break through this bottom side of the map. Hotbox on the time. Some trades going to roll in. 3 going to follow the feed for Minnesota. 1 more standing. Jakey cleans it up. And that's the first wave down. 40 seconds remaining on this P4. Minnesota is chaining so much time together. If you're Atlanta, you got to try and get at least a contest in. And well, as I ask for, they give it to us. Vin was able to find 2, but none of his teammates found any. Balloons, he just found a quick 3. His teammate's going to clean up the rest. So, well, I said they needed to get a quick break, and that's exactly what they did. 20 seconds remaining on this hill as it's looking like they're trying to collect the rest of this.
Yes, they are, man. You see Minnesota Floppr, they are leading in the kill feed. You got Balloonies by himself on the days holding it down for his squad. So we got to see if this turns around a little bit. But the score now is going to be tied going into this P4, P5. I think this is P5. We're going into P5. Minnesota Floppr are going to have control of this hill first. But you got player 8 and player 7. They're coming through. They take care of the player from the top window. But now they got to take care of the last 2. And there's 3 down in the kill feed for Atlanta Dazed. And they're into this hill. They had to stop that momentum that Minnesota Floppr was starting to gain on them, and these are some big battles going on around the hill, and it's a pinstripe kill feed, but low Lord OG of the COD Rec League finds him a big 2, cannot find the 3rd, but he still holds down the hill long enough to allow his team to get into position to hold down the hill.
I mean, this is an all-out battle on this P4. Holy cow. They're just going back and forth here. No one able to find too much successive time, together here. As more trades going to roll in, but 3 going to fall. Lord, the last man standing, he will fall. Prophecies with a big 2-piece there. So, scrap time going to be in their hands. They also have this rotation over towards P1. GG missed. He's a big man there sitting in that corner. He was able to find that opening kill. So, opening kills again for this P1 going in the hands of Atlanta. Looking like they found good time here first time around. So they're looking to repeat that. They jumped out to about a 45-inch point lead to start the game. So these are their hills that they seem to enjoy. So they're going to try and capitalize on it here.
And this is what you want to see when you start off a championship match. Both teams battling tooth and nail. No team wants to give the other team an inch as this P1 was getting battled by Minnesota Floppr. Quinny, he's here by himself. Solo, man, he finds him one. That's the second one he just found on that hill. He holds it down temporarily. Let his teammates, Devin, get in the hill, but he got to watch out for player one. Quinny's going out for the child. Can he find him? He does find him. Can he find the players that are coming in from his backside? He doesn't need it because his teammates' prophecies is there with balloonies to clean it up. Minnesota Floppr are back to their spawns, figuring out they gotta rotate the next. They shouldn't hit P2, but where they spawn at, they gotta run through P1 before they get through P2. So you might as well clear that time and make your way through. And look at that force spawn by player 5. So this could be the break that Minnesota Floppr needs.
Big gunfight here, and the Lord wins it. So he's going to try and get some kills. He did secure that spawn for Minnesota with that pistol kill, so that's big. They're now going to be in this backside. Atlanta spawning out towards the front. Been able to find the opening kill on from the hill. So these Atlanta players now forced to break in through this side. Onto the P5. They're trying to push their way through, but Jakey and Hotbox, they got a couple. Trades are good for Atlanta for now. 30 seconds remaining on this hill, but the Atlanta players just can't get in. They can't get the kills that they need. You got to get something. Minnesota, they have the spawn, so you will win the trade battle on this hill. Prophecy's the last man over towards this hill, trying to get something. He jumps in unexpectedly, able to find two, but Vin there to finally shut him down. Atlanta on the rotations. Is Minnesota going to secure that time? Going to be basically a tie game going into this P3.
Yeah, you see Atlanta Dazed, they're rotating early. You see player 5 getting in that back corner. You got to be right there. Player 5 is on the mini map to secure those back spawns for your team on this hill. Those are the favorable spawns to get into this hill. And look at Atlanta Dazed, 3 in the kill feed, light him up. Lead player 3 soloed out in that top little P1 little hallway area, and he's just waiting for his teammates to spawn up before he makes his move. But while he waits up, that time just keeps on accruing for the Atlanta Dazed. Now here comes the wave of Minnesota Floppr's balloon. He finds 2. Quinny finds the 3rd. It's all up to Jakey. Jakey now last man up. Can he find 1? No, and that's the wave. First wave, Minnesota Floppr gets defended off.
Yeah, they get fended off well. Their balloon sitting in quite the unreadable corner, and he found a big 2-piece there. Minnesota players trying to break through this side door, but Balloons is no longer a balloon. He is now a brick wall, not letting anyone through that doorway. Is the scrap time again going to be in the hands of Atlanta? Lead growing over 40 points. Going to be about a little over 50 going into this P4. Now, Minnesota's here early for once, but GG missed trying to disrupt this early rotation out of Minnesota. He was able to find one, but traded out rather quickly. So Atlanta do have a lead, but Minnesota, they're taking some space. They're finding some early kills on this rotation, but 7 in missed. Again, trying to find some players from Minnesota off guard as the cruise missile is going to come in from balloons. Able to find one and force Minnesota off this time. And Atlanta looking to get a quick break here.
See if they can get a break in, but Vin finds 2. Prophets find 1. Lolo finds the 3rd. It's only up to player 8. He's the closest man up. Can he win that battle? No. Lolo wins that battle for his squad. Now you got player 7 and player 6 are the first 2 players up coming through that P1 area, but they get founded out. They get taken down. Now it's all up to player 8. He does find his kill on that long route. He's in the hill. Last 14 seconds should belong to the favor of Atlanta Dazed. Player 4, he's going for a child, but too many Atlanta Dazed around, so you have to go next. Last time I went to this hill, it was a battle. Minnesota Floppr are going to have to battle even harder if they want to come back in this game.
Yeah, they're going to have to try something. Atlanta finally cresting over that 200-point mark, slowly inching their way towards victory. And like you said, this hill last time was an absolute grueler of a battle. So, I mean, Minnesota, they're going to start with this time for now, but more trades slowly rolling in the feed. Going to be won by Atlanta, courtesy of a 2-piece by GG Mist. So, again, Minnesota, they rotated early again, but Atlanta, they broke it just as fast. They're on this hill again. They need slowly inching towards 30 more seconds for the victory. Minnesota trying to break through his backside, but they're going to go 4 down once again. 25 seconds now for the victory. These Minnesota players are going to have to bang it out through front. Hotbox able to find a quick opener. Going to find a second as well. Quinny now kind of the last man towards that hill. He's stuck alone, and well, Minnesota buy themselves a little bit of time, but it's only about 6 or 7 seconds as Atlanta, they're going to rotate over towards this P1 and try and close it out here.
Yeah, I mean, it was unwinnable for Atlanta Dazed there too. They had to win it here in this P1 anyway. So here they are starting off with this early time. Only need 10 seconds for the win. 185-241. There is a 3 down for Minnesota Floppr to clear off the hill right now and to start accruing time for themselves. A comeback could be in the works, but perfect hard point but needs to be played. You see Jakey trying to play these kills for the black. Oh, that little slide to back up the stairs is pretty good, but the trade is there. But as that's going down, the spawns have flipped and allowed Atlanta Dazed to get in from that flip side. So here they come. They're breaking in. The Atlanta Dazed trying to come in 8 seconds. All they need for the win. 25 seconds on this hill is still left. So Atlanta Dazed can break in. There's the break that they needed. Now the kills have to come in from Jakey. 3 down. And there goes Atlanta Dazed calling map 1. Saki hard point. 250 to 2. Ooh, I missed it.
04. 204.
204.
That was a battle. The entire map long. I mean, especially towards those P4s to P5s, into those P1s, it was getting quite mixy. Atlanta, you know, they were prioritizing those spawns, which was allowing them to win. On a map like this, if your team is good, you know, kind of on the offensive side and search and destroy, you can take an advantage of that. And so that's what these teams, I'm looking for them to do, is Atlanta is going to start on this offensive side. And like you said, they're going to be hitting towards this A side.
Yeah, I mean, this has been the site teams have been favoring lately. I've been seeing lately. It's been easier to get, I guess. But you can see the barrels are going down. You got this low Lord with the sniper, but 2 big kills going in favor of Atlanta Dazed. Jakey and Vin, they go down. And now it just leaves Lord. Oh, now it just leaves Hotbox God by himself. And they know where he's at. Because you see, he got the little blood on him. His HP is starting to regen. Bomb going down on this A site. Hotbox God, 1v3.
1 versus 3. Is he able to find the first? No. 1 bullet too little to find that first kill. As Atlanta, they run through him over towards that A site. And, well, I said it right as we loaded into this map. Those offensive rounds are going to be huge. This is one of those search and destroy maps where, you know, defense, you're going to be a little bit favored, you know, no matter what, in my opinion. But this is one of those maps where offense, I think you have the least disadvantage out of all the possible search and destroy maps. So the offensive side, it's going to be huge. And Atlanta, well, they start the game 1-0 with an offensive win, with GG Miss getting a couple kills.
Yeah, man, yeah, 2 big kills was big for him. Now we got to see Minnesota Floppr. They're going for the classic B strat. He got Atlanta Dazed already all over this strat. GG Miss trying to get his 3rd kill of the map, and he finds it with the nade on the bomb planter. So you know his IQ is all the way up, and then Prophecy finds that up. Quinny finds one on low Lord. Now it's just Jakey by himself in a 1v3. He is in a good position, but the bomb is not, but he's in a position where I think he probably not. Oh, he finds one though. He finds balloonies. That's a big kill for Jakey. Let's see if we can find this.
Maybe a little bit of stat pad in there. Just finding that kill. Bomb is down on the B-bomb. So, I mean, these Atlanta players, they're going to recognize it. They're kind of just going to huddle up towards top bed. Maybe take a nap up there while they wait for Jakey to do whatever he needs to do. But Prophecy's able to spot him out. He is going to find that kill. He spots that player on the reload. Going to slide up for the chow. Doesn't find the kill. Some shots exchanged. You know, Atlanta, they're just going to play this time here. They're going to try and find this. But now in a 1 versus 1. 20 seconds remaining. He's got time to pull this off. 1 more player left, and GG Mist is not going to be here. He's going to get the plant down with a few seconds remaining. In a 1 versus 1.
Right to him though.
Oh.
I saw when he planted the bomb on this side, he was going to run right into him. Unfortunate bomb plant and Reed. I think he probably thought they were both on this side because they chased him. Thought they were chasing him on this side. Didn't know that last player was still holding down the tiki side of the bomb. Hands were on my head though. I thought he was getting ready to clutch that 1v4, man. That was getting ready to be, I mean, amazing. Even though, you know, it woulda, coulda, shoulda. I mean, it was good by Jakey there. So Atlanta Dazed up 2-0. GG Miss 4-0 on his streak, doing what he does for his team, throwing that quick nade, trying to get an easy kill. But you see this bomb making its way towards his A site.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Atlanta, I'm shaking a little bit after that one. I know you won that round. You're up a map and you're up 2-0 with the second map, but something like that, you almost lose a 1 versus 4. I'd be shaking a little bit, but, you know, I guess that's why I'm on the desk and not playing. GG Miss gets the opening blood. He's on a 5 spree. Balloon's able to find one, but Hotbox able to get a kill as well. So one-man advantage so far for Atlanta, but Low Lord able to tie this up in a 2 versus 2. That's a big kill. Minnesota finally not going to be playing with a man down, as Atlanta looking like they're going to back this bomb up and go towards B.
That was some good Call of Duty right there by both teams to get it down to a 2v2. But now this bomb's rotating back to this B side. Player 5 is going to be the first player to try to make a read on it. But I think they heard his footsteps or something, so they're turning back around, going to try to take this bomb back towards this A side. Never seen this play before, done before this. We're going to call this the oop, the duped, because that's when you go to, you think like you're going to B, then you come right back to A. But Hotbox God, he said, I'm not going for none of that. I'm staying over here watching my sight, but you got to watch out for prophecies with the M15. Lord, this the bomb planter. Bomb does not get down. He only has, I think, like 5 or 6 seconds to plant this bomb. He puts the smoke down. Bomb going down. Lord, does he go for the retake? Does he go for the quick hop, or does he go for the chow? Lord, he knows where he's at. He's always just around this ring, so he's searching everywhere. He sees him. He goes for the shot. It's a little windy. Oh my God! It was a little windy out there. I saw the trees shaking. A thunderstorm just came through, and then Prophecies just clutched himself for a squad.
Cut the cameras. Cut the cameras. We did not just see that. Holy, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would leave the lobby if that just happened to me. But I mean, a hurricane must have come through. It is windy today.
His house. I'm talking about his actual house. Like he looked out the window when he was shooting. Like, you know what I mean? He definitely took his eye off the screen there. But
that's the only explanation for something like that. What? He ran out of bullets. There we go. 3-0 Atlanta. That is how you. I mean, they're just stealing all the momentum here. That is quite the clutch. GG missed though. They did shut that score streak down, so he isn't gonna have that cruise missile in the back pocket, which is, I mean, that's at least something. If you're the side of Minnesota, they're gonna try and go towards this B side again, but they're doing it with a little bit of a slow approach, which allows Atlanta to push through the middle of the map. They take the kill, they take the positioning towards pool steps, and they do it again with an opening blood. They're gonna find the second as well, courtesy of Balloons. But Minnesota will find a couple kills, so now into a 2 versus 2. Balloons and Quinny. Kind of holding the line here in a 2v2.
Yeah, Bomb is always getting stuck for Minnesota Floppr in these bad positions. But they're going to try to figure this out. They're trying to hold it down, trying to see if they can find somebody peeking, but Balloons, boy, that boy is shooting. He's on a 2 streak right now, currently 5-2. You know, misses 6-2, and Prophecies is 3-2. So they're doing what they need to do on that side, as far as the kills is going. But there's 16 seconds to go. Bomb now made his way towards A side. I wasn't even paying attention to that, but it made his way towards A. Let's see if Jakey can make. Oh, the COD timing! They're running right behind each other. Chase is on. Does he know he's behind him? I don't think he knows. Oh, now he does. That was unfortunate right there. That was unfortunate.
Minnesota's they're getting costed on some crazy timings, but you gotta tip it to Atlanta. They're winning some big late round kills. You know, they're getting to 2 versus 2s, even 3 versus 2s, even without the man advantage or anything like that. They're getting some big late round clutch kills that are getting in these rounds. They're just kind of running away with this one so far. Minnesota just searching for something.
Yes, they are, man. We are in this round 5 of this Search and Destroy. Atlanta Dazed are currently up in this series 1-0. So this will take them up 2-0 in a best of 7. My bad, best of 7. But you see, Minnesota Floppr trying to play some good defense. They were a two split through mid. Now they got 2 on B, one through mid, 1 watching A. This bomb is still stuck back here in this little back corner area, but they're finally starting to move. Trophy goes down right on time. Prophecy does find the first blood on the Hotbox God, so that's the man advance for Atlanta Dazed. But Jakey instantly ties it up, looking for 2. Ooh. He tried to pull out his inner Scrappy there, but now he allowed Vin to push some pressure up on Atlanta Dazed, forcing him to rewrap the bomb, but the over aggressiveness by Vin gets him taken down, and now it's 3-2. And you know, I like Vin aggressiveness, but I wish he just would have just, like, you know, after he didn't go the first time, just would have chilled.
Yeah, you're kind of pushing up there, and he has no help around him. So if he doesn't, it works if you find a kill there, but if you don't, I mean, it's just not how it works. It just doesn't work out. Sorry. It's kind of like Shotzi, where he kind of just runs around on his own. When he's getting the kills, it works, and then when he doesn't, he gets the object doesn't win. So
Yeah, that's a great that's a good analogy.
a 3v2 for Atlanta. They are playing with man advantage basically all game long. Balloons with a big cover for his teammate, able to shut that down. Low Lord, the masked man standing, gonna have to force his way out through pool steps. He will fall, and Atlanta up 5-0, looking for the sweep in this map number 2.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Balloonies, man, he's doing it. He's carried it over from the map 1, brought it over here to the map 2. He's a shooter, 8-2, only died 2 times in this search and destroy. About to take this team over the 6-0 mark. Let's see if we can get a fight back from Minnesota Floppr here in this round 6. They will be on offense, so this is what they need to do. They need to just go ahead and do a quick plan on A. This is what I would do in this type of situation, but it's not me. So they're taking this bomb towards this A side. Atlanta Dazed, super aggressive. This is it. We're pushing through mid. Prophecy's fine. Hotbox got everybody. They see everybody. Low Lord gets a trade onto Quinny in the back. GG missed now. Put the pressure on. There goes the Low Lord. Then jumps out. He finds one to make it a 2v2. The battle that went on in the spawns of Minnesota Floppr ended up with 2 men of them down. Oh, can he find his third? Jakey finds the third. There may be hope for one more round for Minnesota Floppr, but you got Prophecies. He's 5-3. He's been doing good all night. You saw the clutch he did there on Low Lord a couple of rounds ago. So let's see if you can clutch it up again.
Trying to get this clutch. I mean, Minnesota apparently the middle of the map doesn't exist for the Minnesota Floppr right now. Because, I mean, Atlanta, they're just running through it. But they are looking to try and get their first round on the board here. Bomb going to get planted over towards B. Prophecies might catch a little bit of timing on these 2 players. Is he going to find the first? Yes. Last player remaining towards Tiki. The last gunfight going to come in, and Vin will win it. Minnesota finally... They get yourself on the board. The full sale is not. Don't count the full sale out yet. It is 5-1.
Yeah, I mean, now, man, if you're a Minnesota Floppr, you're just in the mode of every round's a must win. So everything is highly important. Every kill is important. Every trade is important. Everything that you do right now is important for you to will your way through these rounds of search and destroy. Just one little mistake could take you out, and that's what's tough about being down in the 5-1. Atlanta Dazed will be the bomb carriers in this round 7.
Yeah, they're going to be playing it. Looks like they're going a little bit slower here, but Minnesota, I mean, they're just giving them all this space. No players for Minnesota. No players for Minnesota were pushed up anywhere towards the middle of that map until their player falls. Balloons pulling out the surprise sniper rifle here in round number 7. Sorry, been able to get a trade, but GG missed there for a quick counter onto Low Lord. So man advantage again in the hands of Atlanta. They have 3 players. Vin in the spawn of Atlanta right now. Bomb over towards A. So maybe Minnesota gonna try and catch some players by surprise with both of them coming with an attack for the back.
Oh man, I thought he was gonna miss that kill. I thought he was getting ready to get dogged by Kai Timing again. But he get that kill, but then he finally gets traded out. Now it just leaves Ben, last one alive, trying to keep his team alive. He sees the player just run up the stairs, so he's gonna go for the chase. You never chase and destroy, but he gets the kill. Now it's just him versus GG Miss. GG Miss has been shooting good all day, so this is gonna be a big clutch up if it's gonna happen. He's in the Tiki. He takes the Tiki. Does he get the kill? No, he does not. He turns the wrong way, and the Atlanta Dazed take the search and destroy 6-1 to go up in this series 2-0.
Man, I thought he had it. I thought he was gonna get it there.
We are here in this Scar Overload where Atlanta Dazed has a 2-0 lead over the Minnesota Floppr in this championship best of 4 matchup. We are battling the Scar. Kill feeds are going back and forth. It's Top Life Go. It's the Search Turkey. Search Turkey. We are in this Overload.
We are in this Overload in Minnesota. They're trying to bounce back here. They kind of got ran through in that map number 2. Map number 1 was a little close. You know, they stayed in the fight there, but here they are pushing up towards this B site, trying to get an early advantage in this Overload. Bounce back. Gonna be a 1v1 for this hill. Hotbox just goes for the slide. Didn't even bring the gun up. He had zero intention on shooting at him. And, well, it didn't work out. GG missed with a big two-piece to shut that push down. All the Atlanta players going to try and push this over towards mid-cut, but Jakey there to cut 2 players down. And GG missed on the other side. He's able to find a couple. He's on a 6 spree, making a 7 before he gets traded out. So, device going to be in the hand of Minnesota. They're going to try and push this over towards B again. All the Atlanta players coming up off spawn. Going to have to flock over. Hotbox towards that green. He gets shut down. So, a couple trades rolling in. Atlanta slowly starting to push out, get a little bit of space going. But Minnesota slowly pushing, slowly keeping the pressure on, but eventually forced to back up.
And that's spawn for Atlanta Dazed on that B and A side. It's just so close. It's just, if you're not already up there by 18, then it's gonna be tough for you to try to run that ball in like he tried to do in that slide. But now we got the rebound, the reaver, I guess the interception. I don't know what we call this. We're going the opposite direction now with Atlanta Dazed now with the ball, but low Lord shuts that down by himself. They got to find GG Miss. They find him. Ball now back into the, oh no, they don't got possession, but they got control of, they're trying to get control of the map. That's what you got to do. You got to control the map, get the ball. Get control of the map. That's what Minnesota Floppr are trying to do, trying to get this control of the map. But every time they do, it's either Quinny or it's Miss. Somebody are balloonies, somebody just dropping off with the big two-piece to shut them down, trying to keep this map very stymied. It's very 50-50 right now. No teams are getting the clear advantage, but there's a couple kills that go their way. You see map control was starting to get pushed up by Atlanta Dazed, but as soon as they put that pressure on, they got immediately shut down. Ball back to the middle people.
Yeah, gonna reset towards mid, and Atlanta's doing a good job. You know, 1 kill, it can be enough to shut an entire push down with the device, and that's what Atlanta's doing. They're finding kills on defense that are shutting pushes down, and prophecies. A hop, skip, and a jump after the two-piece, eventually traded out by Vin. But 3 kills gonna roll in the feed from Minnesota, so, you know, kind of like a seesaw, we're teetering back and forth so far in this map number 3. No team's able to find too much. And like I said, both teams, you know, they're finding those couple kills, even just 1 kill sometimes, that's shutting pushes down. As 3 players from Minnesota gonna fall, Jakey, he does pick up 1, which it slows that push down just immensely. It gives his teammates behind him enough time to spawn up, but Quinny towards the front side, he's able to find 1. Balloons, he gets 1 as well, so good opening kills for him. Gonna try and push this over towards P3, we might have a score coming.
Yes, it's gonna look like it's about to come in. They gotta watch out. Oh, player 4 does a good job of stopping that score, but you gotta watch out for player 3. Player 3 was on a major flank, and he finally made it. It was just that one little kill by player 4, how about God, that made him drop that ball, that allowed player 3 to get there, that shut down that push entirely for Atlanta Dazed. I mean, this is like you said, this game has just been seesawing back and forth. No team has got the clear advantage. This is probably the farthest Minnesota has got with the ball, and Atlanta Dazed not really got past the 50-yard line, except for that one time they got really, oh, he's going for it. Oh, he was trying to go for the jump slide in, but he gets stopped right at the 1-yard line. Ball is picked up by Atlanta Dazed.
He was going for the Wembanyama slam dunk. Shout out Victor Wembanyama, Spurs in 7.
Shout him out.
But he couldn't quite get it in. Atlanta Dazed with the push now. They're going to get the device in hand. Going to try and push this over towards P3 in this wood area. He's going to be the favored side for the side that they spawn on. Vin with the opening kill. Quick trade's going to roll in. Hotbox able to find 2. So push shuts down as quickly as it starts. Quinny the last man up, just trying to find a kill. Slow some stuff down. 28 seconds remaining in this first half. No score has come in yet. But Quinny trying to go for the interception, but the device going to reset over towards the middle side of the map. He was trying to pick it up. I think it's respawned over towards the middle side of the map on him as he was trying to pick it up. But Minnesota going to pick it up. They're going to go towards this A site. There's no player here for Minnesota. He's going for it. He finally gets it in. Low Lord with the first score at the last seconds of the half.
Yeah, man, that's probably, man. Low Lord, man. It just seems like he's been doing everything. Like he's just, this is like anytime they needed something done, you know, you just count on Lolo to get it done. I mean, he went for the hop to jump off the wall, slide in, which worked for him as his teammates did clear off, you know, those players coming out their spots. So great win right there to get at least 1. But they say, and then now when you think about it, just hearing from the cast from the major, going the way that Minnesota is going now is the favorable side. So you think them not having that 1-0 lead should propel them to the victory.
Yeah, I mean, especially if it stays as slow as it's been. You know, we only had 1 score in that first half. If it stays as close as it did, You'd think, you know, you have a 1-0 lead. It's a low-scoring game. You're on the favorable side now. I mean, all things are pointing in your direction, and that's huge when you're down 2-0 in a series. So, got to carry this momentum for the next 5 minutes to, you know, try and crawl back in this series. Vin gonna find the opening kill. Minnesota playing with some tenacity right now. Vin gets the first 3 kills. He's now towards top blue, trying to make some chaos. He shoots some air before getting shut down. Hotbox tried to maneuver towards the bottom blue area, but he didn't pay his rent on time. He got evicted as this push slowly but surely getting shut down with Atlanta picking the device up.
Now Atlanta's trying to make their run over towards this side, but it gets shut down easy. The pressure is in by Minnesota Floppr. All they gotta do is pick up the bomb and find player 820, who is in his sneak. Can he get that kill in time? Yes, he does. Ball stopped the 25 line, but the pressure is there by Minnesota Floppr. But that player 7 and the whole Atlanta Dazed get the kills that they need to stop that push right there at the 10-yard line. Now they're making their way back over towards the Minnesota Floppr side. They know they need 1, but 2 would get them over the lead. But right now, 1 is all they needed. GG Miss is going for the hero play, but he gets shut down. But his teammates are here to clean it up, and there is the detonation for Atlanta Dazed to tie this up at 1-1. 3:40 on the clock, a lot of time to go.
Lots of time to go, and that's not what you wanted if you're Minnesota. All the momentum that you went into the second half with has just been stripped out of your hands. It's now tied. 3 kills, though, going to come in the feed for Minnesota, but Balloons, he's able to find that 1 kill that's going to slow this push down, trying to buy time for his teammates to spawn up as well. One of his teammates spawns up and finds a kill. Hotbox got able to get the quick trade. Prophecies towards his backside. He's going to try and find something. Balloons with the kill onto Vin. His 2 teammates going to fall around him as well. So, like I said, that 1 kill out of Balloons shuts that push down from Minnesota. It gives his teammates behind him time to spawn up for the defense, and they shut that down. And now they're looking to get something going on this counterattack towards Chop.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this counterattack going. They're in bottom yellow though. Bottom yellow is a bad place to be stuck at, especially with the bomb. Hotbox got that's finding him a big 2. He's making the sprint over to the A side, but he gets chased down by player 4. Now he's gonna try to make the push. Slow down 4. Wait for your teammates, but he sees the players coming over from that plane side, but he does get taken down. Jakey, his teammates is here. Pistol is in hand. He has to he's going for the ultimate chow. He doesn't care. Give him the ball. Let him run it, because he's Pistol is on point. He gets through. He's almost there. 1 more slide to go. Oh, he gets stabbed right at the 1-yard line. There's 1 player left. He gets it. He slides through. Minnesota Floppr go up 2-1. I mean, this game is crazy. Search.
I don't know what is happening. 2-1 now, Minnesota Floppr. Prophecies and GG Miss able to find a couple kills. So push now going to start a slow way through. Prophecy's going to be the man right here, trying to get something going through trailer, but Low Lord, sorry, he shuts him down. So push going to be stalled for now. Atlanta trying to back up, take some space, get something going. Balloons with a big 2-piece. That's going to buy him some time and some space. Trying to maintain this shop control for now, but Low Lord again shuts Prophecies down. These 2 players towards top red, though, going to try and get something going, but Low Lord being the man right now. His 3 streak is huge. He found 3 big kills, but Balloons again being relentless, but Low Lord's there to shut more pushes down. And, well, Minnesota, you have the 1 score advantage, so you can take your time here.
Yeah, man, you kind of want to take your time. You know, you kind of want to, what they call it, you know, in more games, you want to clock it right now. Ooh, but there's 4 down. Prophecy's with the ball. He's got to go. He's going for it, and he ties the game. They stun, do not make it in time. Now he's starting to spawn trap. Can he get 1? No, he cannot. Jakey finds him. Ball is now spawning in the middle. There's a minute left. Tie ball game 2-2. This game has flipped on his head. Oh, it's not really flipped. It's been like this the whole time. But Loonies now is starting to warm up. Him and GG's Miss are starting to warm up as they light up the kill feed. It's going to be up to Low Lord to stop this push again. Can he stop the ball? Ball stuck on 18. It's going towards green. It tried to make a re-wrap towards the B, but he missed the jump. And that's what happens when you miss the jump. But Miss is here to pick up the ball. 26 seconds left is on the clock. Minnesota Floppr now have the ball. They're making their way towards B. Hotbox God, he will be the lead blocker. Can he find that first 1? No, he cannot. His guns are shooting everywhere, but he gets taken down. Now the ball carrier is stuck over here in this hallway by himself.
He's stuck here. He's he's the front man. You don't want to be the guy that's the frontmost player when you have the device in hand. 1 second remaining. No one's gonna pick it up. So that will be regulation. 2-2 at the end of regulation. The overtime rules. If you don't know them, I'll explain the overtime rules as quickly and as best as I can. So both teams will get a chance from both sides. They will both equally have a chance from both sides. The first team that scores, the other team will have that much time to score themselves or score twice and win the game. So say one side, they score in 45 seconds. The other team will have 45 seconds to counter with a score of their own. And if they don't, the match is over. The first team wins.
Hey, man, good explanation of the rules. And you explain that rules, man, and watching what we just watched. It may be 4 minutes before we get a score here, man. We may see that whole 5 minutes tick down. What happens if that happens? Do they just split sides and go again?
To be honest, I haven't gotten to that point, so I'm not quite sure what would happen, but hopefully.
All right, but here we go, guys. We're going to catch this overtime for you as we got done just wasting 30 seconds talking about the rules. Bomb is down in this P1 area still. You see no map control has been pushed up, but Ben, he's starting to push up in top green, top blue, trying to get some pressure. There's 4 down in the kill feed for the Minnesota Floppr. Now they're getting to this B side. They're trying to push it in. They're trying to get in quick. 45 seconds. What you call Thirst Turkey? How'd you know?
I knew it. I am a prophet. I can read the minds of the Call of Duty gods. Maybe this means I'll get unshadow banned or something because I've been shadow banned since March. I haven't been able to play ranked. I don't even have the game installed, but I mean, perfect example. They scored in 45 seconds, so now Atlanta, they're going to flip sides. Atlanta will not have 45 seconds to score, or that will be it.
I don't know what that was, man. It said round. I think it wanted to say overtime, but it didn't have the proper syllables to get it in. But here we are, man. We're getting ready for the second half overtime. Atlanta Dazed has 45 seconds on the clock, as you can see right there in the timer on the top. Now it's down. That 5 seconds went down quick. Ball stuck on his mid. If you are Minnesota Floppr, you just want to make sure you just babysit this ball. Do not allow Minnesota Floppr to get it. And the kill feeder's going favorable for Minnesota Floppr. Lord gets a big 4-piece. Now you pick the ball up and you just run it to their base right now. 20 seconds left. Nothing they can do, but they leave the ball in mid, leave a chance for Atlanta Dazed to fight back.
Yeah, and so if Atlanta's got to pick it up quickly. They've got 10 seconds. There is no 30-second bonus time in overtime. So if you don't pick it up in the next 5 seconds, it's over. It's just over. There is no extra time given for just picking the device up, so that will be it. Minnesota clutch up in a tight-knit overload. They win the overtime. They take a map to not even it up, but they do get their first map win on the board. It is 2-1, and that is huge for the Minnesota camp.
Yeah, man. I mean, we think you got a little hope for yourself still to fight back in this series. So, I mean, I'm rooting a little bit for the Minnesota Floppr as here we go on this guard hard point. Atlanta Dazed will get that early P1 time, but P1 is a mixy hill. So I just want to see what Minnesota Floppr do. They try to go for the hill. They try to flip these spawns, but it doesn't matter. Mist has not slowed down since he started. Neither has Quinny, as they both start off with the opening 3 kills and 17 seconds on this opening hardpoint time.
Yeah, they're getting it going. They're starting off hot, and that's what's going to win them games. They won that first map because they were finding the kills, on rotation that they needed. They were finding those, 1v1s on the hill for scrap time went their way as well. Minnesota, they got to play with better pace than they saw in that map number 1. You saw that pace that I wanted to see in that map number 3, and they won it. So, quick lead, though, for Atlanta. They got 30 seconds. Scrap time going to go in the hands for now to Minnesota. Prophecies, he's going to get that kill. More trades rolling in and out of the feed. On rotation, though, you have Minnesota. Hotbox God is the first man there. He's going to find one. Balloon's able to find, or never mind. Jakey able to find that one. So, time going to start in the hands of Minnesota. We kind of saw it similar to how we saw map number 1 go, where Atlanta, they jumped out to an early lead. Minnesota kept bringing it back a little bit, and then Atlanta ran away with it at the end. So, contest time going to come in, but Low Lord there for the trades. Time in the hands of Minnesota for now.
Yeah, Lolo feeling this stuff, man. He's trying to get these 2 pieces. Starting just chow. when he needs the child. Now his team almost got back 24-35. Atlanta Dazed does get a quick little break in. 25 seconds to go on the clock. A lot of time to go, so you will see these Minnesota Floppr players trying to fight to get back in, and there they do. The kill feed does go through, but GG Miss does get that last kill to go in his favor. Now he will get this hill time. The last 10 seconds should go in the favor of Atlanta Dazed. Now this rotation has to be on for Minnesota Floppr. The guy who sees player 5, he's already here on the rotation, so he needs to be taken care of. But he finds him a big 2 before he gets taken down. And now in that way, it allowed for Minnesota Floppr, which is a blessing to spawn right on the hill to get this early P3 time. But here comes the Atlanta Dazed.
Yeah, they're coming real fast towards this time. They are running in packs. They are a pack of wolves running towards this hill. Minnesota, again, they had the early rotations, but I want to see them hold some time here. You know, they're getting these early rotations. You know, they did find about the first 15, 20 seconds there, but you need a longer hold than that, especially if you've already surrendered like a 20-point deficit. You got to find some holds. You got to get a 60-second hold here as well. They are going to break on this time. Hotbox and Vin going to pair up for a couple kills, but now Vin going to be sitting on this hill. 2 kills going to roll in the feed for Atlanta. Looking like they're just going to back up and play for this next hill. So going to be virtually a tie game going into this P4. Atlanta's here for it. Balloons catches a player completely unaware. Hotbox gets cut down early. Jakey, though, he's going to try and work his way to the side of blue. Over towards these stairs. Catches Prophecies with his pants down. Throwing the nade. He finds that kill. So the quick break is in. Quinny with a trade, but Minnesota there for the trades even more. Spawns flipped already in Minnesota. They're on the time once again.
Yeah, this is what they need, man. They needed a big hill. They needed to keep control of those spawns. Spawns did flip right now, temporary for them, so they're gonna have to win these big, tough gun battles on the hill. That's Prophecy. They gotta take care of Prophecies, but they cannot. He gets that big kill, so his team is still gonna be spawning up. Oh no, they actually the spawns are just spawning out. I don't know. They're spawning anything out. They did just spawn up in the backs, but it does not matter. All 4 of them get wiped out by the Minnesota Floppr. Now you see them pushing up, trying to put pressure on these Atlanta Dazed to flip those spawns back to get Atlanta Dazed to spawn back in the back behind them so they can get this rotation to next. But Atlanta Dazed, they're smart to that. They're down 104 to 60 going into this next hill. Atlanta Dazed gonna have a big hill here, a big hold here.
Yeah, that's big though. On the rotation, Quinny found a big 2-piece towards the trailer side of shop, which opened Atlanta to get into those spawns and get that early time. But as I say it, Minnesota, they just push through this front side and run them through their face. But GG Miss able to pair up a couple. Prophecies with one as well. So that's going to be a clean wipe in the feed for Atlanta. They're going to have this time for now. Well, that rotation and those spawns work in your favor there. You got a little bit of contested, but Hotbox, he's going to find 2. Vin over towards top green being a nuisance. Low Lord able to pick that one up as well. You still have 1 Atlanta player in the back, but no, he will fall courtesy to Vin. So the break-in from Minnesota, lead growing over 30 points now. Hotbox towards mid-cut, he gets cut down, but no players for Atlanta anywhere towards this hill as the last 11 seconds looking like it's going to go their way.
Yeah, man, and this is what we wanted to see. Wanted to see them come out hot. The first set of rotations take a big lead. 132 to 81 is the score. Resetting back to P1, but there's 3 down in the kill feed for Atlanta Dazed. So they got to Atlanta Dazed. They know their gunny has to pick up now. They got to start getting the target point time. So you see that's what they're doing now on this P1. The last P1, they did get about a good 20 seconds. So let's see if they can repeat that performance here. As the kill feed are still just lighting up for Atlanta Dazed in their favor. They're trying to bring it back here on this P1.
Hotbox, he doesn't like that wall very much. He threw a Simtex right at his face. But 30 seconds remaining on this P1. Atlanta found good time on this P1 last time around, and they're doing it again. Lead now under 20 points for Minnesota. 20 seconds remaining on this hill, and these Minnesota players, they cannot get out of their spawn. They can't get past White Wall, but you do have 3 in Low Lord. Over towards this P2 rotation, he's going to have to find some big kills. His teammate Hotbox got here for some help, but Balloon's able to shut 1 down. He jumped for the chow. He finds the second. Vin finally able to shut him down, but he's got no teammates around him to help quite yet. But no, Low Lord's there. He's there for the trade and 1 more as well. Prophecies, he's over towards his backside for the flank. He's able to pick up 1. These Minnesota players got to turn around now. Oh my god, they cleaned that up perfectly. So Atlanta now spawning out towards this 18-wheeler side. Gonna have to try and push this 2-shot. Vin trying to go big here, but Trades rolling in and out of the feed. A team kill as well. Minnesota still maintaining this time. The lead over 30 seconds now.
Yeah, Minnesota loves his P2, man. Last time P2 they held it good. This time they're holding it just as well. Kill feast. It seems like the 3 kill feed goes in the favor of Atlanta Dazed. It does not matter. It seems like Minnesota Floppr were there holding that last man on the hill, was doing what he needed to do to control that time. But now they finally get taken down. The last of the scrap time should go in the favor of these Atlanta Dazed players. Gonna have a 169 to about 153 game when we go to this next hill. Minnesota Floppr already setting up to win this next hill. Big win by Hotbox God to save his buddy who was getting shot at down on the floor, but they got to watch out for Miss, who's on a super flank. He does find 1. Can he find 2? No, he gets traded out. Lolo Lord with the big 2. Jakey with a 1. The hill time is not being controlled. It's being contested, but Atlanta Dazed win that battle for now. Prophecy just with the pistol. Now he finally switches up to the MP5. He has every gun imaginable that you can possibly use in this game, so he's looking like he's gonna hold the hill down by himself, Rambo style.
Trying to hold it down Rambo style, but he can only do so much. He gets shut down. Trades in the feed good for Minnesota. They get themselves on this hill, but you gotta shut down. Atlanta's been doing good. They're keeping themselves in this game by getting good scrap time on these hills. You know, they're finding themselves last minute breaks for the last 15 seconds, 10 seconds. It's keeping them in this game. And well, as I say that, they do get the break. They are going to collect the last 5 or 6 seconds on that hill, but that scrap time is going to start to make a difference if this game stays this close towards the end of the match. And so keep an eye on that for now. Vin with a knife kill. Not sure where that was, but Prophecies, he's going to break in through this front side. Minnesota players, they do have the advantage in the spawn in the back. They're going to shut 2 players down for Atlanta quickly. Quiddy able to find 1, though. Lolo trying to hold down the front of this hill. These Atlanta players starting to swarm around like bees. Quinny towards the front, able to find 1. Vin and Hotbox, they do find a couple trades, but Quinny, the last man standing towards the hill, gets shut down. 30 seconds remaining on this hill now. Vin on a 5 spree. He's having a quiet series, so a quietly good series so far. A minute on the hill as well. So P4 last time was good for Minnesota. They're continuing their success for now, but as I say it, the break's in for Atlanta.
Yeah, man. I mean, you called the break game, so we're going to see if this is just going to work out for the Atlanta Dazed, because they are getting that scrap time. They're making sure they get those last 15 seconds, but Minnesota Floppr are getting to the hills first. And one thing about hardpoint, you rather want to fight from the front foot than fight on your back foot. Jakey is cutting them down on the rotations that they're trying to cut through, trying to push through mid. He finds them a big 2. Can he find a 3rd? If he finds 3rd, we're going to call GG's here, but no, he cannot find a 3rd, but he did make the call. His teammates, though, they are coming, but that was a big hold for him to hold his team out, get his team in prime position to win this game. 15 seconds is all that's needed. Here comes the break in by Atlanta Dazed. He sees the balloonies, he catches 1, trying to catch 2, but he can't. Lolo Lord, Jakey, the big guns for Minnesota Floppr, find him a big 2. There goes Vin with 1. Vin, where are you going? Get on the hill, but he said, forget the hill. I gotta make sure they don't push up. Our team is only 5 seconds away. Once they spawn up, they jump in. The push is in for Atlanta Dazed. Here comes 1, the 2, they find 2, but they kill the lighting up still for Atlanta Dazed. But Balloonies, he's here. He cannot find all 3, and Hotbox God calls game. 250, I think like 190, I think it was. I keep forgetting the score. 194, 2-2 series tied up.
Man, what a map. You know, Atlanta was showing fight towards the end. They were showing fight all map long, as it was only about a 60-point game, but just Minnesota, that's the pace that we wanted to see them play.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of the COD Rec League. We are here on Championship Wednesday, watching Minnesota Floppr and the Atlanta Dazed battle it out for the Silver Premade North Championship. And we see this early battle by Miss getting the first blood on to Lolo Lord. But there's the trade there by Vin, but Quinny is there for a quick trade. The series, if you guys enjoyed the series, is tied 2-2. So whoever win this will have advantage in the series as we get it down to a 1v2 Hotbox Gods versus 2 Atlanta players, and he finally gets trapped. Atlanta Dazed take round 1.
That's a textbook search and destroy round right there. You get that opening blood, you win the trade battles from there, and that's all she wrote. You get that first round on the board. You know, Minnesota, they were aggressive for those trades, but you don't get the first blood, you will not win that trade battle. And that, well, Atlanta, they win it. They get that final kill in the 1 versus 2. So they're looking to continue their search and destroy success. They absolutely dominated that map number 2. So if it's anything, if it's any sort of overshadowing or foreshadowing, yeah, that's the word, foreshadowing to how this map will go, Atlanta definitely playing with some confidence because, I mean, that map number 2, it was ugly.
Yeah, but I mean, they won that map number 2, so 62. So
Oh,
it's
you're
looking
right.
like it's looking like it's good. But one thing that I would say is that this A site right here is a favorable site for Atlanta Days. This is a site. If you're Minnesota Floppr, you kind of probably want to stay away from it because I think the gunny in close range favors Atlanta Day just a little bit. As we got a 3v3. GG Messi finds another one on the hot box. Got Vid outside just trying to fight for his life. Teammates were there, but now they just backed up. Bob is down. It finally went down on this A side. And Lord, he's the last man alive. Finally gets taken down. Atlanta Days 2 quick rounds on the board.
2 quick rounds again. I mean, this is what we saw out of them in the first search and destroy in map number 2. And Minnesota, they've similar to what they did as well, which didn't work. Was they kind of were playing it a little slow, kind of creeping up towards that midpoint of the map, not taking too much space, kind of waiting for the other team to come to you rather than you going to them. And so it's clearly not working for them. I mean, it's obviously what their search and destroy strategy is, but against this Atlanta team that they're just going to run in your face with these NPCs, you're just going to get run over. And it's what they've done. It's what they're continuing to do. Is this A site, again, going to be hit on the offensive side by Minnesota.
And see, oh man, miss on a streak right now. Before he finally gets traded out. Fine once before he gets traded out. 3v3 advantage. Jakey, the bomb is getting closer to this A side, but now everybody is here from both teams. So looks like they're going to audible. Yep, just do audible, reroute. Take this bomb to B. Bomb now going down on this B site. So we got Hotbox God. He's watching the mid. See if he can find any of these players crossing. He does see one. He does win that battle on the cross. I think he let his teammates know all. I think he saw 2 of them cross. I don't know if he saw all 3, but they have. It's back to a 2v2. It was 2v2. I didn't see that 3rd kill, but Hotbox God, he does find Quinny and player 7 prophecies. He's all the way to the bomb to take down Hotbox.
He's now the last man standing in a 1 versus 2. Prophecies. He is the Lisan Al-Gaib. He clutches the 1 versus 2 with a hop, skip, and a jump out the window. Man, that is a backbreaker if you're Minnesota.
I think he just missed him.
The deception on the wall jumps, it can get tricky over towards those wall jumps.
Yeah, look, he just missed him. He was behind him, and when he moved to the left, I guess he shook him out of his socks.
The thunderstorm blew through again.
I think he shook him out of his socks, man. Left his shoes sitting right there on the pavement while he went to the left. And then I left 3 quick rounds. Atlanta Days.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a backbreaker from Minnesota. That is a tough one to swallow, but you got to go back on this defensive side. They're going to split the defense to both sides. Atlanta going to be over towards this B side. Going to play it a little bit slow. Going to try and get some information first. Low Lord with the sniper rifle towards his B side. Kind of just sliding back and forth. Who's going to spot who first? Some information and bullets exchanged. Low Lord now challenging with the sniper. Prophecies might have that information that there's at least 2 players here towards this B side. So they are going to try and favor over towards this rotation over towards A. These Minnesota players rotate a little bit over towards the middle of this map. Ven kind of being the information for the middle map for now. But both teams just feeling each other out as we slowly inch towards the bomb site.
Yeah, Atlanta Days don't know what they want to do. That sniper from Lola Lord has scared them, but now they're pushing them. Yeah, they're pushing them. Yeah, you got to push him. Once you know where he's at, let him shoot one time, and then you got to just start moving around, using the movement, using everything. But the bomb now is probably made up this B-side, but Lola Lord, he stops that plant. There's only 23 seconds to go on the clock, so they got to pick it up. They got to plant the bomb. I think it's 5 seconds to plant. I'm not sure what the exact plant time is, but I know it's not quick. So you got to plant it. So that's what they're doing. Misses finally got into the game, finally got a kill, and he's putting the bomb down. Balloonies is there. Now it's up to Jakey in a 1v2.
1v2. They did throw the man advantage away in Minnesota again. You can't throw these rounds away when you get those opening bloods. They had the 4 versus 3. They shut the bomb plant. There was 23 seconds left in the round. Atlanta hadn't planted it yet, and they had a 4 versus 3, and they still find a way to lose that round. Atlanta, I mean, they're clutching up. They're the backs against the wall in that round again, and they find a way to clutch it up. So 4-0 in this search and destroy. We might just have an S&D diff here, ladies and gentlemen, as Atlanta 4-0 starting to run away with it.
Yeah, man, I was thinking it. You said it out loud, but I was thinking it. But here we go. Minnesota Floppr got the bomb, taking their way over to this B site. They need to get around here. Another down 4-0, which you don't really want to do. Lolo with the sniper, trying to make some things happen, but he just backs him up. The bomb's getting. Oh, Hotbox God does find the first blood, but instantly traded out by Provies. Quinny gets taken down by Vin. That was big by Vin to get that kill. Now he's got to try to plant this bomb down on this B site. Oh, player in the alley. They're going for the double chow. I love it. And they win that. Now the last player's in the back alley. That is Miss. He's one of the toughest kills of the Atlanta Dazed roster. So if you are Minnesota Floppr, you got to know that is Miss. You got to get this bomb down, and you got to stay together.
You got to stay together. With Mist on this map, this round is nowhere near over. They don't know where he is. He was able to reset. He has the NPC in hand as well. Gonna try and catch a timing on these players, and they separated again. Lolo are gonna shoot some shots, so at least you've got some information. Timing gonna be in your favor, so hey, Minnesota get themselves on the board there. They avoid losing another 1 versus 2, as it's now 4-1. And listen, I was sitting up in my seat still watching that 1v2.
Man, me and you both, man. I mean, Miss, it's only because it's Miss, man. Miss is 7-2 right now, 7-3, but he's just been making plays that has just been insane. And then every time you look at Atlanta Dazed, even like you look at the hard points and the other modes, you see them getting the 2 pieces all the time. So a 2 pieces is in his bag. So you know what I mean, I felt like he could have did it, but he didn't. It's 1v4 Minnesota Floppr. Now they gotta play defense. Atlanta Dazed is taking this to the A site.
I mean, if you're Atlanta, you just got to flood this A site. You do have a player for Minnesota over on B, so you have a man advantage on this A site. If you want to just push it in, you will win this trade battle. Hotbox God, though, he's going to find that opening blood. So, as I say it, it disappears. Jakey with the second one checks his corner. So, he's going to able to find a second as well in Atlanta. Whew, they just got cut down towards that A site as Minnesota. I mean, they picked up the pace. They're pushing up towards that halfway point of the map, and Atlanta thought they could just run it down, and Minnesota, they punched back.
Yeah, they did, man. I thought that sniper play by Lolo, by himself over there on that B site, I thought it was going to come back to hurt him. Cause I was like, they need the numbers. They need the numbers. And Lolo, and they were battling. He was just chilling, like, bro, like, you know what I mean? But anyway, they got the win. That's good for them. But I got a little nervous for Lolo there. But there they go, Minnesota Floppr. Now in this round 7, got the bomb on this almost side. Looking like they're trying to push this quick to A, get there as quick as they can. All of Atlanta Dazed went through mid, so this can surprise them. But I think 1 shot, so now they know where they're coming from.
Yeah, but will they know that it is all 4 of them? The quad flank coming in. Prophecy's able to find the first kill. Jakey with the comms. Hotbox with the quick trade. G-Mist able to find 1. Vin able to trade that out quickly as well. Checkerboard rolling through the feed. Balloons with a 2-piece. All 4 Minnesota players down. And Atlanta, they hit the quad flank through the middle of the map. And it works in their hands as Minnesota. I mean, I don't know how you read that. You said all 4 players on the flank. I mean, who's reading that?
That's definitely unreadable because he's like, even when you get a call out, oh, I seen 1, I seen 2 in the back. You don't think you seen all of them back there, so you still gotta watch the front side just in case they're trying to hit you with a pinch. But there was no pinch there. It was a full-on flank. Atlanta Dazed put themselves on map point in this round 8, trying to take a series lead of 3-2. And, man, you think that Minnesota Floppr need to start pulling some rounds again.
This is a swing map in this series. As Balloon's able to find the opening kill onto Low Lord with the sniper rifle. Hotbox God, though, he's going to chow for the trade, but Quinny there. The teamwork there for the trade. Balloons with the pistol able to find Vin towards the backside. Jakey now gonna find 1. Gonna turn and find the second in a 1 versus 1 with the Balloons. Balloons has at least somewhat of an idea where Jakey is. The sniper rifle going to come in. Jakey, do not walk through that door, good sir. You will catch a bullet to the face. He will back up, bomb down towards that B site. So, Balloons, he's going to have the site control for now, but, I mean, he's got a pistol. He's got to try and find a gun on the ground.
Oh, he found one. He found one. I don't know if he did it with the pistol.
No, that was the
Or
pistol.
did he find the NPC? That was the pistol?
He
yeah.
just called game with the Jaeger. Call him Dashy on the map. Just doink, doink, doink. PC meta at the end of the day, but you can get away with, you know, going the traditional 2 ARs, 2 subs on a map like this. But into the den overload. Minnesota starting on that left side. Atlanta on the right side of your mini-map. Jakey with the opening kill. Some trades going to roll through the feed, but 3 players from Minnesota going to fall. Device over towards the middle of the map. Going to be picked up by Quinny. They're going to try and push this over towards B quickly. Minnesota's got to go. These players for Atlanta, they're finding all the kills that they need. They're finding the positioning they need. 3 players going to fall. Device was dropped in Low Lord. Able to find that last kill. 1v1 for the Device. GG Mist wins it and runs it in for the quick score. 1-0 Atlanta off the rip.
Yeah, not even a minute off the clock, and we see Atlanta Dazed. They're saying we got to call game now. Even though they know they got the favorable search and destroy, matchup right now. They're saying forget that search and destroy. We messed up on that last overload. We got to get our get back here, and that's what they're trying to do now. They're trying to win this overload. They're up 1-0. The kills are starting to line up in their favor. Ball is stuck over here on this P3 side. So they're trying to rush it in, but there is Hotbox guy with a big 2 looking for that third, but he runs out of ammo, so he has to reload before he goes for another chow. The ball is stuck right here, right in front of Hotbox guy. So let's see if he decides to pick it up. No, he's not picking it up because he's got to clear that alley.
You got to clear out this P3, and well, that's what they do. Prophecies, though, trying to cook something up towards this P3 cut. He's able to find one, can't quite finish the second. Hotbox there to clean him up. These 2 players from Minnesota trying to push this over towards the A site, but they have no more help. Both shut down right on the 5-yard line. Atlanta going to pick the device up. They're going to work this over towards B. Hotbox able to get one. Jakey finds the opening over towards this rooftop side. So push, slow down at least a little bit for now. Hotbox John trying to be the man, but he slides in and meets a brick wall. Low Lord gets one. He jumps and finds a second. Trying to be the man for his team right now. Push slowed down, but you got 8 in. GG Mist towards that back corner. Shuts 2 down. We're getting multi-kills on multi-kills, and both teams slowly just teetering back and forth right now.
Yeah, man, Mist was in that day 1 rat spot that, you got to check it. If people don't check it still, this is the day. I don't know why. It's a day 1 rat spot. But he got 2 out of it, got his team ball control. They was pushing his ball up. They got it all the way up to P2 before Minnesota Floppr did enough to shut it down. Now the ball is in the favor of the Minnesota Floppr, and they're going to take this to the A site, which they're pushing this through. They're trying to get through as fast as they can. The rush is in. 2 lead blockers are in front. Now it's up to Hotbox God and Low Lord. It's up to Low Lord to clear this lane. The Hotbox God to run it through. He finds one with the pistol. They're pushing up. He's getting close. Oh, he tried to slide it in while he was battling, but it was too many gunny. Quinny does get the team kill, but the ball is in the favor of Atlanta Dazed.
The hesitation. The 2 frontmen from Minnesota, the player with the device, I think that was Van. He's waiting for his teammates. He's kind of shouldering that dojo area. And his teammates with that, they have the guns in hand. They got to go in. They got to find those kills, those gunfights. And I think they just waited too long. Atlanta bought enough time for the reinforcements, and they shut the push down as Balloons. He's going to find 3 players. Jakey towards this dojo side, able to find one, couldn't quite find the second, so that's shut down. Atlanta now trying to push this up towards P3. 2 Minnesota players going to be towards this P3 cut. Going to try and get something cooking here. Ven able to find the opening. GG Mist shoots both the players mid-cut down. Ven, though, he's trying to cook something up. A pistol battle towards 10. Trying to find something, but Jakey is there to steal that kill. So, device in towards 10. All the Atlanta players starting to come up on the defense as you got 5 in prophecies towards the mid-cut. He's going to find 2.
Yeah, man, every time Minnesota Floppr think they got to run, you just see a big 2-piece, a big 3-piece come for the kill for Atlanta Dazed and a free run to B as they like this, and they push the score up to 2-0. Now this bomb is sprouting up on that roof side. You got Minnesota Floppr players there first. It's going to be a big kill for player 2 if he just would have turned around and started going towards Den, but he went towards mid. So now the players are spawning spawning in that Den, shut down this ball in that B bomb site, and now Atlanta Dazed are going to make their run with the last 25 seconds.
Yeah, gotta try and get something going. There is that bonus time if Atlanta can keep the device in hand. Quinny able to find a good kill onto Hotbox. Jakey able to fall or not able to fall. He will fall as well. GG Miss gonna get the third. But the last player from Minnesota looking like he's just gonna try to pick it up and run away. Play keep away a little bit. Not gonna work though. Balloon's able to pick it up. 2 kills gonna roll in the feed from Minnesota. Quinny with a quick trade. Balloons with a pistol. John Wick style finds the second. 25 seconds now with the bonus time. And Minnesota just trying to kill Balloons. You know, just get it to the second half at this point. Get something. Balloons almost found that guy with the pistol. He got a couple headshots in. Prophecy's able to find that opening as well, but kind of just stalling for now. You only got 10 seconds. Atlanta, either do nothing or do something.
Yeah, man, I think he just pretty much wasted all the time sitting there waiting for his teammates, because every time he was trying to wait for his teammates to get pushed up, they just kept getting taken down. So he just had to just wait and wait, hoping his teammate was going to win the battle, but they just never won that battle. So it just kind of just stalled them out right here in this P1 area. You see the battle. You see the battles going down. This is the battles that I'm talking about right here. The battles that his teammates just could not win. And you see all those Minnesota Floppr players were there to hold it down, but nonetheless, they're still down 2-0, 2-0, and they got to fight back in the series. Minnesota Floppr.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the scoreboard, they're not getting outslayed by too much. I mean, they might not even be getting outslayed at all right now. It's pretty close in the kills department, but Atlanta, they're just getting the more important kills. You know, it's quality over quantity, especially in Overload, where you prioritize the kills that are important. You know, they're getting the crucial kills they need to, you know, secure some scores, to deny some scores. They're getting those in the feed. And Minnesota, you know, they're finding kills, but they're not getting those last-minute kills they need to, you know, tip them towards that edge of scoring and denying scores. So, Atlanta with the advantage right now. Minnesota, you're not out of the... I mean, it's not completely over yet, but you got to make some quick work if you're going to have a chance. Some trades rolling in and out of the feed. Device going to be towards this bottom red. Hotbox going to be trying to push something up. His 2 teammates do find some kills over towards mid. Prophecy able to get a trade, but his teammates all fall around him. But he is still towards that top right. Sorry, no. He did eventually get shut down. Quinny going to kill his teammate with a trophy system. But, I mean, as of right now, device reset towards mid. Trades just rolling back and forth for now.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, man. He threw the nade, and the trophy system blocked the nade and killed him at the same time. That was different. But this ball is now in the mid area. Minnesota Floppr, they need to pick it up, and they need to get a score as quickly as possible, because you got to get 2. So you got to get this first one just out the way as quickly as you could possibly get it. Now they're going to try to push this favorable B site. Landay's players are here, but Jakey does find one. Can he find another? No, he cannot. Prophecies finds a big 2-piece. Shuts down the lead blocker, but the ball is still up in Lolo's hand. Let's see if Lolo can wait. Oh my goodness. Prophecy is just taking down everybody. Lolo finally does get the trade, but he is definitely stuck right here on this pillar.
Yeah, he's stuck right here. And, you know, Atlanta, they're forcing Minnesota to play their game. They're controlling the pace of this game, and they can slow it down at will. But Jakey finds 2 with the AR, gets the John Wick pistol with the 3rd. That's a little bit momentum. If you want to try something, you got to get something going. Device going to respawn towards mid, though. That's going to slow him down a little bit for now. These Atlanta players starting to push up towards this midpoint.
Yeah, you can see that Minnesota Floppr. They just need one of their players off spawn to get picked up and pick up the ball, because they're pushed up now, spawning these players up on that A side. So this is known now for Minnesota Floppr. So these guys just pick the ball up and run. Just get it and run. 4, but 4 is not going to see player 6, who's finally made his way into that B site. It took too long for the play to develop and to get shut down by the Atlanta Dazed. So that ball is stuck closer to this B site. Player 2, he's going to be the closest player there, but he's got to take down a wave of Atlanta Dazed.
Got to take out a wave of them. And, you know, I mentioned at the half that, you know, Minnesota wasn't getting outslayed too heavily. and it's kind of teetering now towards Atlanta. They're starting to take advantage in that kill feed, which is it's going to make the score even uglier. 5 in prophecies towards that backside might be enough to push this score in. Van able to find one. He gets weak, can't find the second. 1v1 for the score. Jakey gets a big 2. So shut down at the 1 yard line. Minnesota, you've got a minute 40. You got to go. You got to score quick and you got to score fast. You got to hope for overtime at this point. Hotbox, he's going to be able to find a big 2 towards the middle of this map, but prophecies towards the backside, not going to find anything. He is a little bit too late. So Minnesota finally get a score on the board. Only down by 1, but prophecies, oh my goodness, he's popping takeover. 29 and 23.
Yeah, man, he just literally stopped the relay. Because that would have been a relay. Prophecy's not over here going crazy. Big 4 piece. Now he got the ball. He probably should have left that ball and just kept streaking. But, man, nonetheless, he has the ball. He's got to try to go for the score now. And that's what he was going to try to do. But he got stuck in that corner. Ball is down. Still got the one point lead. Minute left on the clock. So there's a lot of fighting back that has to go down. But you can see Atlanta Dazed right now. They're starting to apply pressure. Keep him in their spawns. Let's work the spawn trap. Let's pick the ball up too. Get the ball. That's the kill that they needed. This is the one that's probably gonna get him over the, take him over the top.
Yeah, that's a backbreaker there. Prophecy's jumping off the map just to give Minnesota even a chance here. Down by 2 once again. 30 seconds on the clock. You got to score here right now. You got to score about 10 seconds ago if you're going to have any sort of chance. And that's going to just about do it, ladies and gentlemen. Atlanta Dazed, they turned up. They took the first 2 maps in the series. They dropped the second 2, but they lock in the search. They lock in for this overload right here. 2 seconds remaining, and they can call themselves the Chumpions. That is the game. That is the series. Atlanta take the series 4-2, and they are your champion of the Silver North Division.
Congratulations to them, man. Hard-fought season. So that was a great season.